Good afternoon, grade 9s. This is Mr. Riadi, and hopefully you've had some success working on the fractions review. Again, that is an opportunity for you to do that review test and have it count towards your mark as an extra opportunity in fractions. We're going to continue on with our current unit, so we're in our third unit, and it's actually listed as 4.6, Applications of Equations, Solving Using Ratios. So today's lesson is all about ratios, but it's the same idea where we solve word problems and kind of turn them into variables so that we can solve them mathematically. The lesson 4.6 Applications of Solving Using Ratios, it should be found on D2L, and you should have the note out in front of you. If you haven't already copied down the question or you printed it out, I would do that first and then start this video, and I will walk you through the solutions for each of the questions. So I'm going to do that now. Feel free to pause this video and get your questions set up so you're ready to go. But the very first question on that handout is that you have a jar that contains blue and yellow jelly beans. If the ratio of blue to yellow in the jar is 3:5 and there are 45 blue jelly beans, determine the number of yellow jelly beans in the jar. So we're looking for the yellow jelly beans in the jar. What I'm going to do now is try to set this camera up. Okay, so let's come up with a solution for the jelly bean question. There we have blue jelly beans to yellow jelly beans. We have 3:5 ratio. And in our case, we have 45 of the blue jelly beans, and we need X yellow jelly beans. So that I just subbed in X to represent the unknown number of yellow jelly beans. That's what we're trying to determine. So the easiest way to do this is to set it up as a ratio. I'd like to set it up in fraction form. So there's 3 and 45 equals 5 and X. So I set it up as 3 and 45, 5, and X. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross multiply. So the 3 times the X becomes 3X. 5 times 45 becomes 225. So now I have 3X equals 225. I'm still solving for X, so I need to isolate it. To get it by itself, I divide by 3. I'm undoing what's being done. And I divide by 3 on the other side. And X is equal to 75, and that's the number of jelly beans. Okay, so the next question is, in a banana muffin recipe, the ratio of sugar to flour is 2:5. If the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of sugar, how much flour would be needed? So the way to solve that problem, you set up the ratio again with sugar to flour in a 2:5 ratio. And if you need 1.5 cups of sugar, how much flour will you need? So again, set up in a ratio or equivalent fraction situation. So 2 over 1.5 is equal to 5 over X. You want to cross multiply. So 2 times X is 2X, which is equal to 1.5 times 5 is 7.5. At that point, what you want to do is isolate the X. It's being multiplied by 2, so you want to divide by 2 and divide by 2. X is equal to 7.5 divided by 2 is 3. Carry the 1, and you've got 15 divided by 2 is 0.7. That gets 14. Carry the 1 and 5. 3.75 cups of flour needed for every 2 cups of sugar. Or sorry, 1.5 cups of sugar. Okay, the next question out of the homework is a jar of coins contains quarters and dimes in the ratio 11:5. If there are 272 coins in the jar, determine the number of each coin. So to solve that problem, we've got quarters and dimes in a 11:5 ratio, and we also have 272 coins. for me, the easiest way, the most subtle solution is to essentially take the 11 and the 5, add them together, you get 16 coins. So if we divide 272 by 16 coins, we come up with a solution of 17. So I know that if I have 11 quarters, multiply that by 17, and if I have 5 dimes, multiply that by 17, and we'll get our solution. So 17 times 11 is 187. And the second solution, so that's quarters and dimes, we have 85. Now, that is one way of solving this problem. I'm going to show you a second way as well.